How we doing? Long time no see, huh? Just want to stop and give a little message briefly because of certain changes that happened at the end of my 7 years of bad luck, on 313. The whole way, there's been certain people that have been trying to control and dictate my journey and manipulate it according to how they see it and a traditional path and understanding that they have based upon watching others apart from it. And, well, if, see, Jesus Christ, the image is the soul that nobody can find. That's why they metaphorically placed it in everyone's head. So the ego's against itself. But that's not true. It doesn't exist there. It doesn't exist anywhere, right? So all that they ever had was the bitch. That's all the books. The Bible is the bitch. The Quran, the bitch. All these things are the bitch, but they use the bitch to control the masses, right? To control the masses. And he never was. That's why he's in every single story, but he was never here. But everyone that got to see him was Vishnu. And not. Connected to all and connected to none. And I've been the only one to give the conversation of the HGA, which works best in text, because anyone can interpret it however they want to. I can be in a happy mood and type of text of what the higher self would say about how it sucks. But that's what everyone else has to deal with, because everyone else is not me. And so everyone else watching each other or trying to chain themselves to me or apart from me and trying to dictate to the situation can't really dictate nothing. Because they're all chained against themselves, for themselves, to the place that's not a place, to something that's not a something, for something, but they don't know why, but they think they do, but then look at everybody else. And so that's why, but all is mind. What mind? How is mind created? If everybody's known the same thing since the very person, but people think they know stuff, right? Especially if everybody has to build upon everybody else's stuff. But everyone that does stuff, like for instance, you go to a concert to listen to somebody play music, or well, they got it from the concept of going to a place of no place, and then they come in, and then they take your wealth, and they play the same song. They do the same thing repeatedly, and they take it for themselves. But then they pay all these people, but everybody goes home, and it's all separate and together, right? Nobody's ever done what I've done because I've never existed. But neither has anybody else. So it's the same, but it's different. And the whole way, everyone else just picked intuitively, well, this is what I'm going to do, until it aligned and it clinked up with me. Or I already foresaw things and they made it so that they could trail me and then get on my alignment. Or whatever I do, whatever they can see, then they control that and then be like, oh, see, look, I got it, but you don't. Oh, but I took it from you. But if you point it out, oh, look, see, I'm how great I am. See, it's the battle of the ego. Everybody's problem is the ego. But the ego has to do with each person not feeling like they're worthy. And each person that is worthy just walks out and goes, hey, look, listen to my new song, If I Could Turn Back Time. Oh, yeah, we all love this song. Yeah, we'll pay $50 a head to come in and listen to it. We all listen to it on the radio. And the person will walk out, and the show made $500 million off of draining everybody for nothing. But what have I done? I've taken from the pit. What? Taken from what pit? There ain't no pit, right? There is no other side, right? There is no angel, right? There is no bitch, right? It's the whole world, right? And giving back so that everyone can get an idea. And each person can choose with a greater discernment and get to go on these rides and feel things and listen to stories or a perspective of a perspective. But everything else is trapped in and of itself. Oh, here's Little House on the Prairie. There's a story. Oh, here's a story of a famous person, but nobody knows how he actually lived. See, because they always erase history and they change it in the future anyway to fit in alignment. So nobody really knows. All this shit's made up. But where's anybody else's story? At the end of my life, they'll just pack it all up and put it in a box and building a whole new world off of it anyway. Oh wait, they've been doing that the whole time. But see, one of the greatest things is how everyone gets stuck in a routine, right? And going around. Or goes to it and away, and to it and away, and to it away. Or change. Okay. Well, I've had to go all the way leaning in, leaned out, all the way, the whole way. Right? Well, everyone else is balancing something that they couldn't balance. And then they put all the weight on everybody else's subconscious in music. Doing spell work. That's what music is. It's magic. As soon as the beat hits, you're ready to take off your clothes and hand your ass over, right? It doesn't even matter what the words are. And then once you get in the words, then you're like, I wonder what this could mean. And you'll get wrapped up and you don't know. You don't know what they're talking about. Ain't no fucking way you could know. Because the best of them hide it behind something that's not even fucking there. But that's beside the point. The point is, I see a change coming about for the better that has to do with a certain part of it that I have to finalize. Because the tower is each mind and body against itself. If the tower doesn't exist, the tower is every moment of every day. That's the tower. And once you're dead, the stuff you made and did, it's still around. Even if everybody destroys it, the person who destroys it has it in their own memory that they destroyed it. And says, where'd you break? Nothing. It's gone. We hid it forever. Hid what? What's in my memory? But I'm lying to everybody. Yeah. But the spiritual self exchanges it. Shows the person's hiding something. And transmits it. Which is why, weirdly enough, how languages have evolved over time and religion only to reveal the ass end of everything in the front end. And the front end at the ass end. In order to bring everyone into alignment, which is apart from all the parts of society that we've been trained to be a part of. So how can each individual rise up to be the church of self? However they do. I mean, don't copy me. If you want to, I mean, you could try. It's just like each person makes their own songs and does their own thing. See, that's the challenging part about the Axis Mundi of the dove. Because all anybody's ever had is the bitch. And he's the bitch to control everybody and the masses. With nonsense, mostly. But what they're hiding is in it. And that's how I align things. They're nothing. And people go, I'm getting an idea. I'm getting an idea. Yeah, but mine's everything, so what's an idea? Just a little speck out of it? This is somebody steal a piece for themselves. I'm working for everybody. I'm working for nobody. I'm working for the higher self. I'm working for my body. I'm working for everybody. I'm working for somebody. I am. I just become. But the normal person generally runs away all their life. But they're in the running away. That's what ends up adding up to something. They're running away. Like running away from your wife to go work on a hot rod. But everybody knows you because you're a hot rod, right? And when you're dead, they're like, oh yeah, I remember old Jim. He had that 54, whatever, Mustang was awful. And even his kid would be like, oh yeah, Dad's car. No matter what the old lady said, remember Dad's car. The thing that he built while he's running away from everybody. He's couldn't fit in nowhere. And everybody, I was trying to corner him, I just want the money. Just want him to do the job. Just want to take advantage of him. Just want to get in the corner. Just a hot rod. It's the only thing he had. That's what everybody remembers, that old hot rod. Like James Dean's Porsche. Is it James Dean? I believe so. Anyway. If I died today, or yesterday, all this should still be there. And everybody can still use it. It's there. That's the Axis Mundi of the Dove. What Dove? What Axis Mundi? You look up? Who's Axis Mundi? Jesus Christ is Axis Mundi of the world. What Dove? The one that left Noah's Ark to get the land and come back? Or the one that never left the land? Or where's anybody going to land? What ark? What fucking bird? Well, olive branch. This is the olive branch. All the money was created out of keeping everything out of everybody's hands and confusing everybody and making sure that nobody could do anything unless they submitted their entire ass to the bitch and get fucked. And then you could rise. And then there's those that just were born and then they have it all. And they just go, look, I'm me. You know their names. It's just fucking Josh. I'll tell you that much. I wasn't born with shit. I still ain't got shit. And any lesser man, you fuck laid whenever he wants to. Got a vehicle. And if he got a little bit of change in his pocket or anything, he can go get himself a girl. There's your everyday man. He's having a family. Didn't say it's mine. That don't mean shit. I put my part. I did my service for society. I did my thing. Oh yeah? Did it help everybody? Did it affect everyone? Did you work with everybody? High, low, indifferent? I mean, I'm not. There's no brag. I've done what I've done and do what I do. But anybody that tries to, see, that's what the problem was. Because then it falls short, usually. And then the guy that just built his old hot rod, everybody remember that for fucking 100 years. Be pulling it up in the newspaper and fucking microfilm and shit. But in order to reverse the curse, there's something I got to do. And so, one had to do with, well, everybody already seems to know whether there's a camera or somebody telling everybody, or they can really read it in the energy, what I'm doing, where I can just pull up the internet and everything's talking to me like I'm the only one here. But talking to everybody else and implying something, but see, the ego's stuck. Because everybody's ego is what? It's just who they are. And then what's the other thing? The angel, the thing they saw. Well, that's just they just build off of what they understand about other people, or they divide it, or whatever the case may be. But I've been doing all this work for society. And I've taken all the damage for society, for every human being that ever existed. Yeah, Jesus died for everyone's sins. Why didn't he die? What was there a story about him? Especially if it took 1,600 years for anybody to fucking write the book. Oh, but he was already in every book. Uh, and he wasn't ever there. And he didn't support preachers. Oh, but everything's inside out. Oh, but the said that it kept folding it and folding it and folding it until you have the world we have today. And now it's folded where AI is God. Or you can go to church and nobody's God. But we all honor God. But the guy up there, that's God. Well, my memory of the thing, the idea, the belief, that's God. Everybody's got a God. But in India, there's all these gods everywhere. But then they're like, oh, but my God, But that's more like the Quran. But the Quran was written by the Catholic Church, and it's a split off of the biblical family of Abraham. So why would they be separate? Why would they be, and they both have to do with Jesus and Joshua and the same and Musa, Isa, the same. It's split from the same tree, but where'd the tree come from? If it wasn't from India and Egypt, oh, but it's the same guy. But it's the same guy that nobody ever had. But everybody had him, but we couldn't find him. But everybody got him, but nobody could get him. And then they just throw out another story, but it's all together and it's all separate. And so I think that, however, I'm changing it. All the work that I've done previously, this is an amazing creation, and everybody gets credits, and everybody got paid, and everybody can think anything they want. Isn't that the beauty of selfless service? And I'm not the top of it. I'm not on stage. I'm nobody special. I don't have any kids. I ain't got a job. I ain't got an Escalade. I ain't got a bicycle. But all those that took the things from me all have those things and never had to give them up. Just like all the singers, they can't give up their songs. Calling me in. But then they all live forever, no matter what. They're all immortal. She's a one-hit wonder. So that's just something to think about. Sorry I've been away for a while. Working on some other things. But I gotta keep it all in mind. Since everyone can see what I'm doing. Supposedly. Or those that can see. But nobody can see shit. Especially if they're watching. The double split experiment says whenever you look at something, it divides what it's doing. Or somehow it divides. And then the person watching gets ideas. So then that divides. And so then if everything's working around a singular person, then what does that mean? Well, everybody else has the comfort of knowing something and being something and having something. When without another person, nobody at all, nobody has anything. You don't have a stitch of clothing. You've never cut your hair in your life. You never shaved your face, your legs. Were you lucky to have something to cover your privates? You wouldn't have anywhere to live. You wouldn't have nothing. You'd be just a squirrel. And everybody put a lot of nuts in this fucking tree. So don't get squirrely on me, all right?